Tell me a little bit about what it was like in 1980, and you get the call and you're going to work with Miles Davis. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
I mean, it was a great experience, for me, of course. So I was playing with, I did a few gigs with Bill Evans, saxophone player, great saxophone player. And this is in Boston, and he somehow had heard about me, and he wanted to do some playing, and he heard that there was a little club I was playing at every so often. Cats from around town were playing at little clubs there. There were a whole lot of those places in general, everywhere. Now there aren't so many, but there's still a few. So I was playing at this club, and Bill had heard about it. So we did some gigs there, and he really liked the way I played. And he said, "Look, I'm playing with Miles Davis," which I didn't believe. And I told him I didn't believe him. But he said, "I'm playing with Miles, and there may be some trouble between Miles and his guitar player, who I knew." Guitar player. I didn't know him well, but I knew him. We got to know him later better. But he was an awesome guitar player. So I said, "Well, what's going on?" It was just a personal thing. So he said, "Miles might need another guitar player." So not quite a year later, but 6 months later, I was playing with Billy Cobham at the Bottom Line. And I've been playing with Billy did some touring in Europe and a few gigs in the States. But this was just kind of a one-off for a week at the Bottom Line in New York City. So Bill called me up on the payphone there and said, "I'm bringing Miles down to hear you play, so play your ass off." And I said, "Oh shit, I'll certainly try." And Miles really dug it. Yeah, I'm glad he warned me. And Miles really dug it, and then he actually called Billy off the bandstand. And all of a sudden, there was no Billy Cobham on the gig, when we were playing, and we didn't know where he was, and we just kept playing. He was backstage for 2 seconds, then he came back up playing and finished the set. And at the end of the set, he said, "Miles wants to be at Studio B at Columbia Records, and here's the address, and go there tomorrow." It was something like that. It was some places to record, and that's where I met Miles. He told me, "Yeah, you playing your ass off, blah, blah, blah." And then we played he wanted me to play on something that was already done. And the guitar player that was with Miles at the time did a great job. It wasn't soloing a lot, but it was just great chords. Really, it sounded complete to me. So I told Miles, I said, I tried to play over it, and he just said, "Play over top of it." I said, "I don't really hear it, man. It sounds great with all the space and everything." He said, okay. So about a week later, he did the tune "Fat Time" live. We didn't really rehearse. I don't think we rehearsed for that. No, we didn't rehearse anything. We just played it at the studio, kind of came up with it at the studio. Miles did, and Marcus, mainly Miles and Marcus, and probably Bill, just kind of had worked with Miles more. And Al Foster was playing drums, and he had worked with Miles a lot, so he kind of knew how Miles worked. For me, it was like no chart, no nothing, and just kind of basic idea. And then everybody started playing, and somehow Marcus, I just kind of followed him for the changes, or asked him what they were or something, and kind of followed him for the form. And it happened, a couple of takes, and we played. It was the tune he called "Fat Time," because that was my nickname that he gave me. I was heavier then, and he liked my, if I was fat, and he liked my time feel, so he called me "Fat Time." So I was really flattered. Bill called me up later. He said, "Hey man, you got a tune named after your nickname, and it was Fat Time." So, because he liked the guitar solo on it, I wanted to do it over. I of course wanted to do it over and make it all nice and perfect. And Miles said, "Fat Time, when you're at a party, you got to know when to leave." I thought it was a great line. like when the shit's, the attitude is there, that's all you need.
That's beautiful.
Isn't that a great line? Isn't that great?
Beautiful.
Needless to say, I learned a lot from him. Just hearing him play every night, just learned so much from him, and just mainly hearing him play, which is the case with all the players I've been lucky enough to play with, including guys that are not so well known, of course. I mean, Miles is, you can't get more well known in the jazz genre than Miles Davis, but there's a ton of musicians that I always have learned from, and I'm always trying to learn from everybody. I have students who I learned from. You know, I mean, it's not, you know, you can learn from everybody. It's kind of an endless process, you know, which is good. It keeps me busy, and so it'll keep me off the street from stealing hubcaps, which is what I really want to do. But this will keep me.